Stephen, what is Will's involvement in the secondary done for you? I mean, what are you doing a different job now in your nickel with him involved?
I wouldn't really say I'm doing a different job. I mean, because I was pretty familiar with safety and nickelback. I would really just say, I mean, they're just keeping me high. I mean, we found somebody that can play low again, and just one of those things where it's just like I just have a new job, and it's not bad at all, honestly. I like playing high, and I play low to the line too, but I think Will Johnson has done a tremendous job of taking over that nickel spot.
You guys play some corner for a play or two. Are we going to see you middle linebacker soon too, or are you just ready to settle on one position?
Probably just focus more on one position. That was just one of those things. It was just a heads-up type of deal.
What was that like? I mean, I don't even remember you playing corner. What happened on those plays? I mean, did they challenge you at all, or?
No, actually, they didn't come at me at all. But it wouldn't have surprised me if they did. That's usually what happens. Usually they pick on the new guy that's in there, and I feel like that's kind of what they try to do with Dakota. But Dakota did a great job of coming in, stepping in for Zach, and it was great.
Were you surprised that the coaches selected to put you in there? Was that something you were ready for?
It wasn't anything that was surprising. I mean, I believe that I can play corner, nickel, or safety. But it was just one of those things where I was just kind of surprised because we kind of ran out of corners, and I didn't think that it would ever come to that point. So
Talked a lot about you and Jordan Thomas stepping up your game this year. How much better has Ahmad been this year for you guys?
Ahmad has been great. I mean, not just this isn't coming out of really my mouth, but I'm saying it. I mean, Ahmad, we always look through the film of last year compared to this year. I always tell him, I'm like, man, last year I was a totally different type of player, and he says the same thing about himself. He knows that he's improved a lot since last year, and we both, we're hard on ourselves just like we're hard on each other. So it's just one of those things, it's the brotherly love bond, with me and Ahmad, and we're always in each other's face about, how we need to be better at this and that, and where we can improve.
As well as Texas Tech can pass the ball to hold them to their lowest point total of the season, what does that say about your defense after a performance like you had on Saturday?
I mean, really, it just says that we're just coming out and we're practicing hard each and every week. We don't really, know or we know who the next opponent's going to be, but I mean, we're just taking it one game at a time, and we're just doing the best that we can actually do. Because I mean, there's not really stopping these offenses. It's really just about slowing them down.
Seems like you did a good job of slowing them down, though. When you get them down in the red zone, they kind of struggled in space. Is that something you guys practice a lot?
Yes, sir. I feel like we practice all phases of the game just so we can be ready for anything.
Seems the key has been the lack of big plays given up, and that's been an issue in the back end the last year or so. What are you doing better in that regard?
Just communication. Communication plays a big role in everything. Last year we struggled just as far as communicating, especially me. But this year I feel like, we're echoing the calls, we're getting the calls in, we're getting our coverages, saying what we're going to do, and we're just playing ball. So I feel like that, all those things working together, I mean, it's usually going to create a pretty good atmosphere as far as in the secondary.
Are you doing anything different since even the Tulsa game where you had a sort of a rough go against the Hurricane?
I wouldn't say we're doing anything different. I think that we've kind of just adjusted now after the Tulsa game. So I mean, we know what to expect. We're practicing it. At a up-tempo pace, and whenever we need to slow it down, we slow it down. But the times that we know that we can go ahead and go hard and go fast, and we try to take advantage of that. And I think that we do a great job of doing that.
As you guys played, there were still 3 timeouts on defense on Saturday. Does that happen when communication breaks down? You guys have to take a timeout and talk it through?
I wouldn't say all the time. I mean, most of the time we play through, a coverage or something like that. But it's probably just more personnel or just trying to basically, I guess, help us out, make sure we're expecting, any big plays behind us or anything like that. So I think it's more just a safe than sorry type of timeout.
Are you guys covering better longer? this year, or are you getting better play up front, better pressure from your defensive line?
Actually, both of those tie in together. I mean, without pressure, it makes our job a lot harder, and without us covering, it makes their job a lot harder. So, I mean, yes, we have to cover for, we always say 2 to 3 seconds, but I mean, it can be even more than that. But I mean, if our line is getting pressure, I mean, that's usually the basis of, the covering skills. So.
Does it feel or does it show on the film that you guys aren't having to cover as long this year?
It does. It shows on the film a lot. Like I said, our defensive line has done a fantastic job of basically, giving us, little as time as possible, to cover our guys, and they're getting back there, getting pressure on the QB.
How important is a day like Saturday for Dakota? How happy were you for him?
I was very happy for Dakota. I mean, Dakota is one of those guys. He had a lot of snaps in the spring and summer ball, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, he's just a guy that's been through the process, and he's always been ready. It's just one of those times where it's just like, when is my name going to be called? And he stepped up to the plate.
You guys are starting to get a whole lot of turnovers. It seems like everybody's getting their hands on the ball besides you. Do you feel like it's just a matter of time before you get interceptions?
I feel like it's a matter of time. It's just one of those things where it's just like, you want to keep on, saying you're going to get a pick this game, and this game, but, not everything always goes your way. So, I mean, I can't be too gritty. It's all about the team. It's not about just one person.
You got a little bit of look at what it'll be like not to maybe have Zach out there this past Saturday, but you may not have him this Saturday on the road. What will that be like not having a leader like that out there?
It's always going to be different whenever you don't have, your leader in the secondary, but it's just one of those things where we have to all, come together and everyone has to step their foot forward and we have to come out and play, without our leader. And I mean, sometimes that's just how it happens, but I think we're ready for it. I think we're ready for the challenge.
Did he maybe say anything to you guys throughout the game? I know he was saying he was trying to kind of be a cheerleader.
Definitely. I mean, he gave us all of our, our pinpoints, and, he gave us some tips and everything that we need to know. I mean, we knew everything just, through the repetitions in practice and things like that. So, I mean, people knew what they were doing. It's just the fact of just losing, one of our vocal leaders that's out there. So, it's different, but it's one of those things where we have to go through sometimes.
Dakota didn't really have time to be nervous on Saturday, but you know how he's approaching this week leading up to he's presumably going to start against Kansas?
I mean, Dakota, he's just like all of us. We're all gonna go ahead and practice well, and we're gonna prepare well, just like any other opponent. So I think Dakota just probably has that in his mind. He knows that he's our guy, and he's gonna go in and play.
Did you guys get to do Fast Food Friday this week again?
I don't know. I'm hoping so. That'd be pretty good to me, but I don't know.
Mike said after the game you were playing more zone. Is that right?
That we were playing more zone? We were. I mean, we were kind of mixing it up just like we always do. I mean, a little zone, little man. So I wouldn't say we were playing all zone. It's just one of those times where, it's just the best call for us.